Hey, welcome to the class. My name is Shannon and I'm going to take you through 3 sequences that really do target the whole body, but there's a lot of focus here on building shoulder strength and stability. So we're breaking it up into 3 parts. We have the bodyweight section, which is your yoga focused sequence. We'll move on to some mace work and then finishing that up with kettlebell before cooling down at the end. So let's start by making your way into your comfortable seat. Any way that you like to seat yourself to begin. Lengthening your spine, hands can rest in your lap or down by your side, eyes closing down. And take this moment to arrive, tuning in with your breath, centering your mind. I like to start a body scan here, beginning at your toes, working all the way up through to the crown of your head. With this body scan, just noticing any points of tightness or tension through your body, perhaps any soreness or injuries. Be bowing forward with an exhale, forehead down to the earth. We'll sweep our hands all the way to the front of the mat, grounding down through the whole hand, and shifting your weight forward into a 4-point kneeling position on your tabletop. So press down into the hands, see the whites of the fingernails as you bring the weight forward, and rock forward and back, using the fingers to shift the hips back. We'll start to move through our cow and cat shapes here. So as you inhale from the tailbone through the abdomen, all the way up to the head and shoulders. So tailbone, hips, head rising. As you exhale into cat, tailbone tucks, belly button to spine, rounding, protracting shoulders, chin through to your chest. And continue to flow through these 2 postures, tuning in with the breath. Each inhale, opening into cow. Each exhale into cat. And we're building ujjayi breath as we move through these 2 postures. So each breath, beginning in the abdomen, travels all the way up to the lungs on the inhale. And as you exhale from the lungs, all the way back down to the abdomen. There's that slight squeezing in your throat to create the raspy sound of your breath, so the oceanic sound of ujjayi breathing. If you'd like to bring any additional movement here for the last few rounds of breath, you might like to take circles, bring the weight a little bit further over the hands. Also the option here to start to rotate the hands, maybe fingers point towards the sides of the room. Again, we're using fingertips to shift the weight around here. And we can finally continue to rotate the fingers to point back towards your knees. So if you take the fingers back, keep a slight bend in the elbows, and we're rocking the hips back towards the heels. Swivel the hands to point forward, tuck your toes, pressing through the arms, and begin to shift back into your first downward facing dog. We'll take some time here to pedal out through the legs, bending one knee, sending the opposite heel down towards the earth, focusing on the breath, moving from the abdomen to lungs and lungs back to abdomen, torso lengthening with each inhale, hips shifting back with your exhale, holding in stillness for your last 2 rounds of breath, inhaling, and exhale, relaxing your neck, inhale, exhale. Looking forward towards the hands, small steps to the front of your mat, into your ragdoll, so we're dropping and dangling the torso down towards the earth, relaxing the neck, maybe taking hold of your elbows and swaying from side to side. And then dropping through center, chin towards your chest, rolling all the way up into your mountain pose, Tadasana, head and shoulders rise last. Squeeze your shoulders forward, draw them to the ears, rolling back, and as the shoulders pull back, the palms rest down by your side. And we're making sure that the lower rib tucks in a little here. Nice line through the abdomen down to the pelvis. Uttanasana, the arms extend up and overhead, looking towards your fingertips. Uttanasana, hinging forward at your hips, folding down on the exhale. Just take a half lift, inhale, hands sliding up your shins. And then we'll bring both hands down, soften the knees, step your left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Use the hands to pull the chest forward. Ground the hands, step back into high plank. Flex through the abdomen, pressing the floor away. Lower knees, chest and chin as you exhale. Slide forward, scoop up into your baby cobra. When we inhale, untuck the toes. Press the pelvis down. Belly button's drawing in, shoulders back, looking forward. We'll tuck chin towards the chest. Continue to roll through the vertebrae. And your hips will rise and be sent all the way back into child's pose. Looking forward, tuck the toes, extend your legs and press back into your downward facing dog. Looking towards the hands, making your way to the front of the mat so you can walk the legs in to halfway lift. Folding forward. And rolling through the vertebrae all the way up to standing. Arms extend to the sky, look to the fingertips. Uttanasana as you exhale, folding forward. Uttanasana, half lift. Hands down, soften knees, stepping the right leg back. Grip the floor, pulling shoulders back. And then ground their hands, step back into high plank. So 2 options this time, knees, chest and chin, or through your first Chaturanga Dandasana. You'll lower to Chaturanga, bringing the torso forward, elbows stay above the wrist, shoulders away from ears, and then lift either into baby cobra or all the way into your upward facing dog. Firm the thighs in upward facing dog, squeeze shoulders back, looking forward, chin to chest, rolling through your vertebrae, all the way back into a downward facing dog. And looking towards the hands, making your way back to the front of your mat. Let's go one more round, half lift, folding forward, rise to standing. Uttanasana as you exhale. Ardha Uttanasana. This time the option to step, jump or float back into a Chaturanga, lift and scoop, and pressing back into downward facing dog. So we'll look towards the hands, we'll step or jump to the front of the mat, halfway lift, Uttanasana, folding forward, and then Utkatasana, chair pose, bend your knees, drop the hips and sweep your arms up to the sky. And look down briefly, make sure your knees are drawing back just far enough to see your toes wriggling in front, and then send your gaze back up towards the fingers. The power of the gaze here, your drishti, your focal point, we're going to keep lifting up and lengthening. Hover your left foot off the floor. Suck the hinge at the hips, extend your legs into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 pose, standing balance. And then keep that length as you step your left foot back, arms extend to the sky. We'll start to lower, dropping or bending through the left knee, hovering off the floor. And as you rise back up to standing, extend through both legs, reach through fingers, hinge at the hips, into a modified pyramid pose where we'll keep your left heel lifted, hands come down, spine stays long, hug your inner thighs together. Might like to pulse through the left heel here. Soften your right knee, swivel your back foot, so now the little toes parallel to the back edge of the mat. Windmill the left hand far forward and rising up and open into your Virabhadrasana 2. In Warrior 2, flip your front palm, reversing on an inhale, hold and lunge deeper as you exhale, reaching back a little further, before bringing both hands down either side of your right leg. Drop the left knee, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, so untucking toes, hips come back above the left knee, use your hands to extend the right leg and draw the toes back. I want to draw the whole right leg, the foot, the leg and the hip back, bringing them in line and then hinging forward as you exhale. So we can activate this a little bit more. If you like to press into your hands, we'll hover the right foot for the count of 3, and as we lower, we'll fold forward a little bit deeper. So when you're ready, we'll lift at 3, 2, 1, lower, fold. One more time, Press and lift. 3, 2, and 1. Lower and fold. Use your hands to press down. We're going to step the right foot back in line with the hands. Start to drop the knee beyond the toes, creating this sharp angle between the top of your foot and your shin. The dorsiflexion of the right foot. Make sure the heel stays grounded. Let's rise up to a low lunge. Interlace the hands on top of your thigh for a psoas stretch. I'm going to draw the belly button in, chin towards your chest. Start to press the hips forward. The sensation you'll feel here through the front of the left hip, maybe a little bit down onto the front of your left thigh. Hands down to the front of the mat. Tuck your left toes. We're going to stand the right leg up high, three-legged dog. And then bring it all the way through to your chest or forehead for a tiger curl. Hold here, press the floor away more. Shift more weight into the fingers, come forward a little further. And back up into your three-legged dog. Flow through your vinyasa. And back to downward facing dog. So let's look to the hands. Malasana, step or jump. Feet either side of the hands, knees tracking in the same direction as the toes. Lengthening your spine up with your inhale, press the palms together. Elbows hook the knees, draw knees back, pressing the pelvis forward, dropping the hips down, perhaps closing your eyes. Tuning back in with your breath. Shoulders melting away from the ears, shoulders are pulling back. Just releasing the hands down to the earth. Start to extend your legs, heel toe the feet in together. It'll be an Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, and then folding forward into your Uttanasana. To Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend the knees and sweep your arms to the sky. Strong this round. You know the alignment, engaging through the lower body. Reach taller through the top. So I'm going to shift the weight over into the left foot. Right knee lifts, hovers. Reaching out through the tips of the fingers as you take this into your Virabhadrasana 3. Standing balance. Press out through the foot, reach through the fingertips, taking it back into high lunge, lengthen to the sky, square the hips, and then start to drop, hovering the right knee off the floor. Extend through both legs, reach forward, hinge at the hips, modified pyramid, hands coming down, folding over the left leg, keep lengthening your spine, neck relaxed. Perhaps pulsing through the right foot. And we'll soften the left knee, swivel the right foot so the little toes parallel to the back edge of your mat. Right arm reaches forward, up and open into Virabhadrasana 2. Flipping the front palm, reverse, reach the sky, inhale, lunge deeper, reach back further. Both hands either side of your left foot. Ardha Hanumanasana, dropping the right knee, untuck toes, shift the hips back to be above the knee, then extend your left leg. Toes flex back, leg hugs back into the hips without bunching up the mat. Let's activate and make this a little bit deeper. Press through your hands, hover the left foot for 3, 2, 1, lower, fold. Press into the hands, lift, 3, 2, 1, lower and fold. And bringing the torso up, stepping your left foot back. We're working through that dorsiflexion of the right foot, so keep the heel grounded and bringing the knee beyond the toes. And then back up into your psoas stretch, interlace the fingers on the thigh, belly button back, chin to chest, hips press forward. And then we bring hands down, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Tiger curl the knee through to your chest or forehead, bring the weight forward, press the fingers, retracting the shoulders, squeeze and hold. Back up into your three-legged dog, and through at vinyasa, or straight back to downward facing dog. Malasana, look to the hands, step or jump with feet, outside of the hands. dropping down into a squat, knees drawing, or elbows drawing the knees back. Revolving Malasana, we'll bring right hand around the left ankle, or maybe pressing down into the mat, and left arm begins to reach up to the sky. Switching sides, big inhale as you reach and stretch, exhale, twist further. Hands coming down, we're moving straight through to Crow, Bakasana, fingers spread wide, ground down into the earth, elbows hug into your shoulder width distance, knees to backs of triceps, hug and squeeze just like your tiger curl, bring the weight forward, we'll hold for 3, 2, and 1. From here, step jump or float back through your vinyasa, back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment here, 3 rounds of Ujjayi breath, inhaling through your nose, sigh through your mouth. Breathing in, sighing out. Inhale, and release. Look to the hands, step or jump to the front of your mat, half lift, folding forward, chair pose, bend the knees, sweep your arms to the sky. This time in chair, palms press together and lower to your heart. Revolving your chair pose, inhale, lengthen. We're taking the left tricep to the outside of the right thigh. Look down, make sure the left knee draws back. Then you can lift your gaze into the twist. Drive the palms together, twist further, counter rotate through your hips. We'll challenge the balance here, either looking to the sky, or you can shift and look down at your right foot, hold with the left foot just off the floor a touch. Extending back, hold the balance, and then step back into your twisted lunge. From here, option to extend and open up through your arms. Palms pressing back together, return through center, opening to Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to reverse the warrior, flip the front palm. Maybe this time you might like to wrap the left arm behind your back, come on top of the right thigh, and reach. Hands windmill either side of the right leg, dropping the left knee, untucking the toes, back into your Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. This time with the splits, the option to revolve, ground the left hand, and reach your right arm up to the sky. Both hands down. We're going to bring the weight forward into the right foot and extend up into your 3-legged dog. From 3-legged dog, the right knee curls in towards the chest. Bring the weight forward, hover, hold, get lighter, and then see if you can bring left knee into Malasana, perhaps a little bit of a rock. Let's take left leg back, right leg extending out into fallen triangle, hovering the foot or rounding. Reach overhead, extend and lift your hips. Hands down, 3-legged dog. Right foot steps between the hands, swivel your left foot, windmilling the arms up, open, extend your legs for Trikonasana. Make sure that external rotation here through the right leg, hips pressing forward, hinging at the hips to actively draw your left hip back as you reach forward. And then extend and opening through your arms. And then rise to standing, hands to hips, swivel the feet, heels slightly wider than toes, and hinge as you exhale, spine staying long as you fold forward. Making sure that your hips are over heels here, weights coming down evenly across your feet. Rising torso up halfway, Swivel the left foot so the heel comes in slightly, Skandasana. We use the hands for the first round. Move into your deep side lunge. So be working on this dorsiflexion through the feet, keeping the heel grounded. Nice stretch through the adductors, the insides of the legs. Let's keep the hips low, shift through center, Skandasana into the right leg. And then we'll swivel hands towards the front of the mat, floating the right leg high. You can move through a vinyasa here, perhaps even floating the leg, or kept straight back to downward facing dog. Also a third option, coming through to a chin stand, bring the leg forward, float the legs, and then opening through the heart. And onto the other side, looking to the hands, step or jump, front of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana, Uttanasana, Utkatasana, and preparing to revolve, palms press, lower to heart, inhale, lengthen, exhale, right tricep onto the outside of the left thigh, knees pulling back in line, then lifting your gaze, squeezing shoulders away from ears, checking your balance into the left foot, right hovers slightly, extending back, hold, not as much balance on this side, but we'll step all the way back into our revolve lunge. Hands to prayer, lift through center, opening into Virabhadrasana 2. Flip, reverse with the option to wrap the right hand behind your back. Hands down, either side of the left leg. Ardha Uttanasana, drop the right knee on top of the toes, and then extend the left leg out. If you like to revolve or ground through the right hand, and extend left arm up to the sky. Hands down, bring weight into your left foot, high to the sky, three-legged dog. Tiger curl or Ulasana, through to the chest, press with the fingers, hover, and then you extend the right leg back first for a fallen triangle. Back to three-legged dog. Stepping the left leg between your hands into your Trikonasana, windmill up and folding forward. From your Trikonasana, rise up to standing, hands on hips, swivel the feet, heels wider than toes, folding forward. And bringing the crown of the head down. Half lift into your Skandasana, so swivel the right heel in, bring the weight across. Maybe this time you'll bring the torso up. So in Skandasana, you might like to ground the foot or maybe swivel the toes to the ceiling. Explore what feels better for you. We'll move through center, Skandasana into the left leg. Getting option to lift the toes, we'll keep them down. We'll move all the way to the front of your mat. Moving through your final vinyasa, or chin stand. And back to downward facing dog, lowering to your knees, untuck toes, child's pose, arms reach back, 3 rounds of Ujjayi breath, sighing through your mouth to release. So we're moving into the second sequence, which is the mace. I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I will put up just a little tutorial with how I built my mace. If you don't have one, it is hard to replicate this without some sort of weighted stick. We're working on the stability of the shoulders, so you can probably let it flow through regardless, but once you get a mace, you'll know what I'm talking about. So when we'll pick up the mace, let's grab it closer to the weighted side, just a little bit gentler on the elbows. I'm going to take I'm mirroring you as well, so I'll do my best to remember that. Right hand to the bottom, left hand to the top of the mace, or sorry, the above the mat. Pull the shoulders back, put the arms up resting on the torso. We'll take a lunge back with the right knee, lower it, hover off the floor. Extend the arms forward. Shoulders still pull down, rise to standing. Top hand now reaches towards the top of the mace. Thumbs are pointing in towards each other, so you've changed your grip. Turn to your right side, step out, and sweep through. Arms are long, straight, and reach up and overhead. I'm going to return to face the long edge of the mat, legs open wide. A front raise, rise the bar above your head, and then lower down. We'll open up to the left side, swivel the toes. This time it's more of a digging motion. You're going to dig down and then lift up. Bring the mace back down in front of the body. Switch the grip. The top hand now points, thumbs pointing in the same direction. As you rise to standing, it's like drawing back a bow on a bow and arrow, pulling the arms away from each other. Then slide the bottom hand up about a hand's width. So when you return to center, the other hand is now on the bottom and ready to go on your left side. Left knee back, hover the knee off the floor. Extend your arms out, rise to standing. Take the top hand, thumb now points down, up towards the weighted side of your mace. Sweep through, step the left leg out, sweep and lift. Return through center. Legs wide, front raise, back down, the digging motion towards the right side, so dig and lift, bring the mace down in front of the body, so you can swivel the top hand, draw your bow back, slide the bottom hand up, return to center, again, a little bit faster this time. So we're on the right side, right knee back, extend, stand. Switch the grip, sweep to the right, back through center, front raise, lower, dig to the left, back to center, switch the grip, draw the bow, change the bottom hand, and onto your left side, left knee back, extend, stand. Take hold of the top of the mace, sweep, through center, up and above the head, lower down, dig to the right, switch the top grip, draw the bow, take the bottom hand up, and we're returning to center. So we're moving through another 2 times on each side, but we're going to add a little bit more, so you can stay with the sequence as it was. Otherwise, we'll take the right knee back, hover off the floor. This time we're going to take a bit of a swing, so we'll take the mace over the opposite shoulder, use that momentum to bring it back through center. Rise to standing. Hold at the top of the mace, turn to the right, sweep. Hold the sweep, lower to your shoulder height, rotate all the way around to the front, extend through your legs, front raise, hinge at your hips, bow forward. Pull the hands apart, reach forward, out through the top of your head, maybe pulse. Rise to standing, lower the mace, dig to the left. This time switch the grip overhead, pull back on the bow, hold the bow, release the right hand into that Trikonasana shape, or similar to your kettlebell windmill. Rise to standing. When the right hand returns, a hand's width above the bottom so we can bring the mace, and ready for the other side. Left leg back, hover, extend out, swing over the opposite shoulder, rise to standing, take hold of the top of the weight, sweep, lower to your shoulder height, rotate through to center, extend your legs, front raise, hinge at the hips, pull the weight apart, pulse, all the way to standing, lowering the mace, dig to the right, switch the grip, pull the bow, release the back hand, fold or hinging at the hips, look to the top hand, rise to standing, bottom hand up the mace, switching to the other side. So once again, we'll speed that up. Lunge, extend, swing, stand, grab the top, sweep, lower, turn, extend, rise, and hinge, hold, pulse, stand, lower the mace, dig, switch the grip, draw the bow, extend, and fold, standing, switching hands, lunge, extend, swing, standing, sweeping, lower, turn to the front, rise, and hinge, hold, pulse, stand, lower, digging, switch the grip, roll the bow, open the arms, hinging down. So, option to go another 2, 3, 4 rounds, whatever you choose to extend the time. But let's put the mace down and move on to the kettlebell. Alright, so we're moving on to the kettlebell. Be careful of anything overhead. I've got some beams and lights here that I need to be careful of as I move. But we're moving through very similar shapes to what we've already done in the bodyweight and with the mace. Only now, a little bit more weight with the kettlebell, and also the stability changes will be one hand. If you don't have the kettlebell, we can always do this with a dumbbell, but obviously with the kettlebell, because of its shape, it just requires us to hold things a lot tighter as we're moving. I'm going to start with a kettlebell windmill. I'm going to take hold of this in my right hand. And this line I draw up as I pull it up to my shoulder height or the chest rack. I'm going to bring it almost like you're zipping up a zipper on your jacket. I'm going to bring the weight up, and then the hand will swivel, and the bell, so the wrist will be stacked above the arm, the bell will rest on the back of the forearm. Taking hold, and lifting up. As I lift this into the windmill position, always watching the bell, that's going to help to stabilize and keep that safe overhead. So extend, press to the sky. So with your kettlebell windmills, rotate the left leg out to the side, and the left hand is going to guide you down the inner thigh. So keep looking up as we start to lower down, all the way down, as far as it's comfortable with you. Roll back up, and pull the bicep in towards your ear. So 2 more times, lower down, keep watching the bell, lift, bicep to ear, lower, and then lift. From here, swivel the hips towards the left foot, bring the weight down, the bell down to your shoulders, and drop down into a lunge. Hover the knee, might need to extend the stance, and we're pressing the kettlebell overhead. So 1, 2, 3. Similar to the way we picked it up, we lower it down through the middle of the body into rowing position. 1, 2, and 3. As you place the bell down, swivel the handle, and the handle points back towards the leg, through standing, into your Cossack squat, which is similar to your Skandasana position. Take the bell in the opposite hand, bring it up to, as we did before, at the chest height, and then drop over into the side lunge. Look to the sky, drive the kettlebell up. And we're preparing to move into the windmill on your other side. Guide yourself down. Look up towards the kettlebell. For 1, 2, and for 3. Kettlebell down to the chest, swivel the hips, lower into lunge, hover the knee, press. 1, 2, 3, through the midline into your row. 1, 2, 3. As you put the bell down, swivel the handle towards your leg, take hold with the opposite hand, up to the chest, into your Cossack squat, look to the sky, and press overhead. Into the windmill, back on the first side. 1, 2, and 3. Make this a little bit harder with our lunges. Look, as we lower, bring it to the chest, and lift. Lower, hold that balance. One more time. Bring it to chest, lower to the mat, row. Swivel the handle. I'm going to take 3 of these side lunges this time. Into the left hand, up to the chest, down and up. Lower, lift, lower, look to the sky, press the kettlebell overhead, into your windmills. 1, almost lost that one. And 3. Turn, swivel, lower and press, and lift. Press, lift. Into your rows. Swivel. 3 side lunges. Press overhead. So you can continue 2 more repetitions on each side. From here, I'll start to take it back down to the mat for our cool down session. So let's start in tabletop, mobilizing the spine once more, cat and cows. Or maybe taking some circles. And take this into threaded needle, press into your right hand, left arm to the sky, spin the pinky finger in, open the chest a little more, and then threading. Once you're in your position, you might like to take top arm to the sky, bind it across your back, taking hold of the opposite thigh. And move a little further from here, bending the opposite leg, so my left leg comes up, and take hold of the top of the foot, kick the foot into my hand, arching, twisting, lengthening the quadricep. Let go of the foot, right hand down, left arm reaches to the sky. Switch sides. Thread. Binding. Maybe floating the right leg up, taking hold, kick the foot into your hand. Let's release. Reach to the sky, heart melting, arms walk forward, so keep your hips above your knees, keep bringing your heart down to the earth. Look forward, slide forward onto your chest. Into the chest stretch or open wing position. Reach the right arm out in line with your shoulder. Palm flattens to the earth. Rotate over and open through the chest. Some options for the knees here. You might like to draw them in towards your chest, or taking the left knee to the sky. Maybe opening the hips. Rolling through center. Onto the other side. Left hand extending and rolling over. Back to center. Pressing yourself up onto all fours. Bring the knees around. So grounding, soles of the feet down. Cross the left ankle across the top of your right thigh. Holding here. Make sure the left toes are drawing back towards the knee. This will give you a little more support through your knee. And focus on more opening here through the hips. And you can start to draw the knees in. Either take hold of the back of your thigh or onto your shin. Hug knees in towards your chest. Release. Bring both knees in. Shoulders flatten. Keep the shoulders grounded as you take your knees over towards your right. Go back through center. Left foot grounding. Right ankle across the top of the thigh. Flex the toes back. Hugging in towards the chest. Release into your twist, shoulders ground, knees over to the left. So go back into your resting posture, your Shavasana, legs extended, arms down by your side, palms are facing up. Back to your natural breath. Observing the flow, the light feeling of each inhale, little expansions through every cell in your body. Softening with each exhale, growing heavier, melting down into the earth. And that's where we complete our practice. If you have any questions, feedback, comments, leave them below. And I will see you all next time. Thanks very much. Namaste.